Up on your feet as we salute you with the Insinger Performance Modifieds 4 wide. .24 cars strong, missing one in the Eric Grice machine, down to 23. Jin and Petrobowski Sr. ready to bring it. They're side by side into turn number 1. Jin Petrobowski Sr. Petrobowski Sr. is going to get the advantage as they head down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. Officially, A.J. Petrobowski Sr. leads lap number 1 of the Honor and Alice 55. Sponsored by BH Log Hauling. Tanner Van Doren, youngster from the Syracuse region, looking underneath the 84 Coots as yellow is out. I believe that's the Brandon Martin #1 machine down there in turn number 3. Petrobowski Sr., that 72X on the bottom. Joe Jin in that 3X on the high side, ready to bring us back to green. Petrobowski Sr. gets a good jump into turns 1 and 2. Brady Foltz now looks underneath the Jin machine for second. Tanner Van Doren has worked his way around Coots. He's up to 4th. Now trying to make it 3 wide for position number 2 with Foltz and Jin.
Petrobowski brings him down the back straightaway. Jin locked into that 2 spot. Foltz is 3rd.
Trouble on the Dayton Brewer #17 as he comes to a slow right at the top of turn number 1.
No, you're good.
Great job collecting lap money for this tonight's Honoring Alice 5500 to win Insinger Performance Modifieds. Back green. Great restart for Brady Foltz, who pulls alongside Joe Jin for second. Now a couple of invaders battling it out for 4th and 5th. Eric Rudolph and Tanner Van Doren.
Got them stacked up 2 by 2. Is there 3 wide just behind them there? A.J. Petrobowski Jr. and there's contact here on the front straightaway. Adam Coots got into the wall. That allows Tag, Petrobowski, and Tyler Seary to make their way by.
Yeah, A.J. Petrobowski Jr. winner, Saturday night, 4-time feature winner. Started this one in the back in 14th. I guess that was more in the middle. That is working his way up to the front.
Side-by-side battle right now between Tanner Van Doren and Eric Rudolph. Van Doren beating the doors off the cushion in 3 and 4 for whatever it's worth. Holds on to 4th, now going after Brady Foltz here for 3rd.
3 wide battle for position number 3 as Jin starting to pull in the Petrobowski Sr. machine. Here on lap number 7. Side by side, they're going to go into 1 and 2. Joe Jin, your 2022 track champion, trying to motor that DKM Fabrication Insinger Performance Modified around the high side as yellow is out. Yellow is out, I believe, for the 22 of Gil Tag. I believe that's Tag around in turns 1 and 2, and Braden Bills slows to a stop to avoid contact.
Back to green here off of turn 4. Petrobowski, he's been spot on these restarts. And Joe Jin, oh, look at him, 3 wide for second. Here comes Tanner Van Doren.
Tanner Van Doren puts it down on the bottom, pulls alongside Brady Foltz for position number 3 as we got Cartwright around in front of the field. Ron Cartwright around in front of the field, got him stacked up like cordwood behind him. So Petrobowski Sr. on the hammer, single file we go. Here on lap number 7, 48 remain. It's Tanner Van Doren moving up to the high side, trying to find a little bit of a grip for that 01 machine. Currently in fifth, trying to work his way back around Eric Rudolph as we're 3 wide for second out of the corner. Joe Gin's going to hold on to the spot.
Yeah, Tanner Van Doren, Joe, he's up there trying to dust off that Billy Van Pelt lane from years ago. And look at him throw that car down under the bottom now into 3.
Or Steve, as we call it now, that might be the Joe Gin line, as that is where Joe Gin loves to ride as he is running down A.J. Petrobowski Sr. on that exact same line.
Gin now goes to the top side. Rudolph takes over the 3rd spot away from Fultz. And now here's Gin with a battle here for the lead.
Gin running that high line, using the momentum around the Woodhull Raceway. Pulls right alongside the back bumper of the 72X of Petrobowski Sr. Coming out of 4, Petrobowski Sr. has him at the line, but Joe Gin knocking on the door.
Yeah, Petrobowski is able to fend off the advances off of 2 and 4. Just enough to break Gin's momentum, although Gin got a good run that time off of 4.
Coming out of 4, side-by-side contact on the front stretch. Petrobowski Sr. moves up into Joe Gin. Joe Gin bounces hard off of the wall. So Joe Gin making a pass for the lead. Petrobowski Sr. moves up to block. Joe Gin goes into the wall. Yeah, tough luck early on in the season, but coming off of a 3rd place finish this Saturday, 2nd place finish a couple of weeks ago, we're back green. Petrobowski Sr. leads the field down the front stretch into turn number 1. Tanner Van Doren quickly moves up to the high side, trying to work his way around Brady Fultz.
Van Doren going to test the outside lane here into 3 and 4 once again. Lawson says, you go right ahead and try that outside. I'll take the bottom here. But Van Doren still putting pressure here on Fultz.
Yeah, Tanner Van Doren looking to move into the top 3 position onto the podium. But out front, A.J. Petrobowski Sr. continues to lead the way. Tanner Van Doren may have officially got by Brady Fultz here on lap number 13. But heading down the backstretch, he's going to pull that 01C machine around the 88 as they head into 3 and 4.
And that might work right now for Van Doren in the 01, but I question how long can you do that in a 55-lap race? If he's got hard tires on, yeah, he could do that all race long. But I suspect that starting this up as far up front as he did, I suspect he's not going to be able to do that for very long and make those tires last 55 laps.
Yeah, a tire decision I'd like to know the answer to right now is Danny Creedon trying to move up towards the front, fighting with Ron Cartwright. He's going to move to the high side, then drift down into the bottom in 3 and 4. We're trying to get into the 7th position as he's working his way forward.
Yeah, Danny Creedon, I'm sure he was not concerned about starting 15th tonight in a 55-lap affair. He's going to quietly pick his way through the field, and that's what he's done right now to get himself to the 8th spot, trying to track down Cartwright, as we've got a car in trouble on the top of 1 and 2. And it's Tanner Van Doren. Tanner Van Doren in that 01C comes to a Petrobowski Sr. ready to lead the field back to green here on lap number 17. Stacy Jackson all over the back bumper of Donnie Lawson, trying to work into position number 4. Moves that BH log hauling number 2 up to the high side. Dropped a drive shaft out of that machine on Saturday. Got that all fixed up. He's trying to work his way towards the front. Yeah, Jackson now working that top lane, working on Lawson here to turns 3 and 4. That's the battle for 4th. Behind him, you've got Cartwright and Creedon. But right now, Jackson trying to work high. Now he'll switch back and go to the low lane. Oh, Jackson had a problem there into turn 1. Gathers it back in. Cartwright made a little bit of contact, and now instead of a battle for 4th, it's a battle for 5th. Is out front, A.J. Petrobowski Sr. clicks off lap number 20. Watched his son win 4 times at the Woodhull Raceway.
Raceway has yet to do so, trying to hold off the invader, the 25 of Eric Rudolph. Rudolph runs just about any place in the Northeast. Brady Foltz still running in third. Donnie Lawson holding tight for fourth. Stacy Jackson, though, reeling in Lawson, trying to work his way back up towards the front after that early jingle in turn number 2.
I'll tell you what, Joe. One of the fun battles to watch right now is Petrobowski Jr. and Tyler Seary. Petrobowski gave him a big old kick in the keister at turn number 3 last time, as they've been trading paint for a couple laps, but now Petrobowski, he's got company. Here comes Russell Morseman.
Yeah, Petrobowski and Senior, really no love lost, or and Seary, excuse me, really no love lost between the two. Dates back quite a while.
Yeah.
But Petrobowski Jr. may have done himself a little worse for wear as Russell Morseman sneaks by in that CP Carrillo 44. As we got the 84 of Steve Coots going around on the backstretch. He's able to keep the 84 machine going the right direction, but now he's trying to stay on the lead lap, and Petrobowski Sr. is right on his back bumper.
Yeah, that was Coots on Coots combat over there in turn 2. They both gather it back in, but they've got company. Here come the leaders, Petrobowski and now Rudolph, trying to take advantage here in lap traffic.
Rudolph going to have a little bit of trouble as Coots moves up in front of the 25 of Rudolph. But Rudolph trying to run that high groove, can't make it work to get around Coots. Now around goes the 82 of Wally Wade. Hard contact with the Adam Coots 84. Petrobowski Sr. ready to lead the field to the green flag. Green back out here on lap number 26. Single file they go into 1 and 2.
Petrobowski leads through. Oh, contact there going into turn number 1. It's Cartwright and Creedon. The 16X, the 2B, they trade a little paint into turn 1. Now Creedon will try the top side. Oh, now he's going to try to get a run off the bottom of turn 4.
Dan Creedon knows how to work his way around a Bullring. Has won a bunch of races, has won some here. Tyler Seary around on the front stretch. As Petrobowski Sr. ready to lead the field back to green.
Petrobowski with another great restart here. Rudolph, Foltz, Lawson, Jackson all in tow there in the top 5.
Dan Creedon tried to move that 16X machine up to the high side, almost opens the door for the one of Brandon Martin. Is now Stacy Jackson into the high groove, pulls alongside the 11 of Donnie Lawson. That battle is for position number 4. Jackson's going to blow by him as the two machine, the BH log hauling number 2 of Stacy Jackson, that seemed to have found something on the high groove of the racetrack. Safely into 4th. Now he's going to drop it down into the bottom of 1 and 2 as he tries to now pick off the 88 of Brady Foltz. Up on the high side, pulls alongside Foltz through 3 and 4. Foltz able to drive away down the front stretch here on lap number 21. Stacy Jackson was running that high line, had a run on Brady Foltz, got a little bit too high in 3 and 4. Foltz able to pull away once again, but Stacy Jackson continues to try to close the gap, running that high groove.
And Joe, I think it's going to take a long green flag run here. He's going to continue to try to make it work here as he goes down to the bottom of 1 and 2. And let's see, does he go back to the top at 3 and 4? Looks like he's going to.
Yeah, Stacy Jackson seems to have a faster car than Brady Foltz, but cannot motor his way around the Edison Eagles 88. As Brady Foltz is just sitting down there on the bottom, not opening a lane for Stacy Jackson.
So Petrobowski continues to lead over Rudolph, Foltz, Jackson, Lawson continues to hold on to the top 5. And right there with him, Cartwright in the 2B, Creedon in the 16. And you got to wonder here, is Rudolph, is he just kind of sitting and waiting here with 20 laps to go?
Yeah, Eric Rudolph, way more extra distance races under his belt than the 72X of AJ Petrobowski Sr. Have to wonder if he's playing a little bit of possum, not showing his cards early on. We're going to let the laps dwindle down a little bit and then maybe make a move.
And for Petrobowski, he knows who's back there now. He knows it's Rudolph in the 25. And Petrobowski here with less than 20 to go, now 18 to go. He's going to start going into protection mode here and try to keep hugging that bottom. You saw him kind of lift off the throttle a little bit off of 4 to make sure he had that bottom lane pinched down.
Yeah, I would say if Eric Rudolph is going to make a move, he might want to start thinking about doing it a little quickly, as the 72X of Petrobowski Sr. is doing a great job getting through the corner.
And AJ being real disciplined right now, doing everything he can to keep those left side tires as close to the ditch line as possible. But you can see he's really given up a lot of time on the entry to the corner. You see Rudolph eating him up on entry. That's the difference right now.
Yeah, Eric Rudolph really throwing in that high mark NMCC 25 machine hard into the corner, catching the 72X of Petrobowski Sr. as they tick off lap number 41.
And you know what's different too, Joe, that I'm seeing what Rudolph is doing? Even though we're going to watch him, he's going to throw that car into the corner. Look how straight the car is. It's not pitched out sideways. That is a veteran driver right there who's run, like you said, a lot of these extra distance races. He's found a way to still have speed in the car, but not kick it sideways and just eat at those tires.
Yeah, Eric Rudolph trying to work around the 72X of Petrobowski, but he is just sticking hard on the bottom. 12 laps to go, and this one will be 11 when AJ Petrobowski Sr. passes the stripe this time by.
And Joe, I think Foltz and Stacey Jackson are starting to turn the wick up here. I don't know exactly what lap you've got to go, but I think it's coming soon, because Foltz and Jackson have really turned the wick up on the leaders and has closed within a couple car lengths here, as we've now got 10 laps to go.
Yeah, 10 laps to go in the 2023 edition of the Honoring Alice 5500 to win Insinger Performance Modified race. AJ Petrobowski Sr. continues to lead the field. Stacey Jackson tries to make a move to the high side, trying to find a way around the 88 of Brady Foltz.
And you can even see Foltz starting to change his line a little bit. He was really protecting that top lane coming off of turn number 4. And so it's interesting, the leaders all running the bottom lane, but 3rd and 4th, they got to do something different. What do they say? You got to go where the leaders aren't. And that's what they're trying to do right now. Unfortunately, it's just not working right now.
Yeah, the bottom is the place to be. AJ Petrobowski Sr. holding hard onto that very bottom of the Woodhull Raceway, trying not to allow the 25 of Rudolph to sneak by, who's gaining on him as they exit corner number 2.
And right now, Joe, Petrobowski seeing something out the front rock screen he does not want to see, and that was lap cars side by side. Now, these cars are racing for position, but with 6 laps to go, Joe, they just might catch them before this one's over.
Yeah, you can see the big right hand of John Stewart coming down 5 more times around AJ Petrobowski Sr., trying to win the Honoring Alice 5500 to win. And Stacey Jackson side by side with Brady Foltz. That's for position number 3. Foltz able to power on by on the backstretch.
Yeah, that was the best run that Jackson's had on the top side of 1 and 2. It didn't quite pay off, but he's going to keep trying it here. With 4 laps to go, he's going to give it everything he's got here. It is a little bit better, but it's still not enough to get him around Foltz.
Yeah, 3 laps to go. Not sure if they will catch the 7 of Brian Doolittle.
Oh, look at the run Jackson got.
Jackson, good run out of turn number 2, side by side with Foltz. Parallel sticks in the air. AJ Petrobowski Sr. 2 more trips around trying to win a cool $5,500.
Rudolph going after, oh, Jackson, a big push into turn 1, and he might be in trouble, Joe.
Trouble on the BH log hauling number 2 of Stacy Jackson. AJ Petrobowski Sr. ready to bring him back to green, coming out of 4, 2 laps to go.
Another dynamite restart there for Petrobowski. That has been his bread and butter all night long, and now he'll take 3 car lengths to turn 3.
Opens up the gap on the 25 of Eric Rudolph. Petrobowski Sr. picks up the white flag, has yet to visit Pepsi Victory Lane in 2023. Comes out of turn number 2, motors down the backstretch, opens up the gap on the 25 of Eric Rudolph, works his way into turn number 3, comes out of 4. AJ Petrobowski Sr. wins the 5,500. Undone, climbing up out of the car, AJ Petrobowski Sr. Well, AJ, I said it when you were getting out of the car. You watched your son stand here in Pepsi Victory Lane a lot of times this season. Must feel pretty good to be here with the big money on the line.
Yeah, it does. I was beginning to think I was a little old there for a little bit. You know, I was having a hard time seeing in the first 20 of that lap. You know, you catch the back of the field, and although the track's smooth, it's dry, but it's really dusty, you know, and it was tough.
Yeah, it seemed like restarts were really your bread and butter. During the feature event tonight, there'd be a caution, somebody be right behind you after that. You just pull right ahead on a restart.
Yeah, Chad, Eli started doing our motors halfway through the year last year, and that took our program to a whole nother level. We just got this motor back. It pulls good. You know, it's built specially for Woodhull, and it's actually my kid's motor. He let me borrow it tonight, and we got her done.
Were you getting a little worried when you had about 5 laps to go? You saw a couple of Woodhull regulars battling for position side by side in front of you.
Yeah, no, I don't. You know, all you can do here is hit your marks. If a guy's good enough to ground you on the outside, there's nothing you can do. So all I did was hit my marks, stayed on the bottom, and I knew when Rudolph was behind me there, he's clean enough where he's not going to drive down and dump you. He's a professional, you know, so that helps.
Well, congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. Your winner of their Honoring Alice 5,500 to win, AJ Petrobowski Sr.